Hey, what's up? This is Reed. So far I've done 3 smart light bulb comparison videos that have covered over 30 bulbs. So I'm going to take my favorites out of all of those and compare them head to head to find the best of the best. I think you're going to be surprised on some of the results. I know I definitely was. And I think the reason why is that I've never gone this in depth on a smart light bulb comparison before. Come to think of it, I don't know if anyone has. Probably because they have a life and I don't. I did learn a lot though, and let me show you what I did to compare them. I created 10 categories that I feel are important when viewing the entire picture of the smart light. First, brightness. This isn't just how many lumens it is, but how bright on both cool and warm whites. RGB saturation. This is similar but for colors. There's also white accuracy. This is factoring in the CRI score and how natural the whites look on the daylight white. Some lights have a higher blue or green tint to them when it should be equal for a pure white. Compatibility. You probably want it to work with other brands of smart home devices. Reliability. No one wants bulbs going offline when you need the lights on. Accessories. These are light switches, motion sensors, and other devices to complement the light. Value. This is obvious since price is a big factor. Another is how good the mobile app is, plus special features the bulb has, like syncing up with your TV screen. Lastly, power on state. This allows the bulb to stay off if your power goes off and back on in the middle of the night. Without this, your smart bulbs will turn on after a power outage. I know that's a lot to take in, and I'm about to go over tons of bulbs, but don't worry, all of the info will be linked down below in an article that you can check out afterwards, and it will include other smart bulbs that I didn't include in this video. Now that that's out of the way, let's look at the first section, inexpensive Wi-Fi bulbs. These don't require a hub and are affordable. After grading them on 10 different categories, the top one was the 60 watt A19 Whiz bulb. It's only $13 and rates highly across the board, especially with the power on state. This light was bright on the cooler whites and slightly dimmer when it was warm. It also has fantastic white colors and a CRI score of 90 out of 100. The RGB colors also look good for the price. It works with SmartThings, and there's even a Whiz remote you can buy separately, called the Whizmote. Yeah, that's its legitimate name, not what my toddler picked.
Whizmote.
This can make it more convenient to control the lights, select scenes, and it works without the internet. The Whiz app isn't my favorite with issues like bulbs not being labeled on the home screen, but the white colors, the price, and power on state make up for that. You still may want a different Wi-Fi bulb, so let me quickly go over the runner-ups. Govee is another inexpensive bulb that has great white colors and some unique scenes that you can set in the app, but it's lacking in compatibility and power on state. Cree recently released an extremely bright, affordable bulb. It's A21 size, which is taller. I got it working in the Cree and Smart Life apps, as well as Home Assistant, but it does not work with SmartThings. It's the brightest bulb for the least amount of money I've ever tested. And as you can see, it's much brighter than Whiz. And it also has accurate white colors with a CRI score of 90. TP-Link Casa has a couple of really good bulbs as well. They work with SmartThings and have the best RGB colors for the price range. The colors have a slight edge over Whiz, but not by much. They are just missing the power on state. They kinda have it since you can set the brightness and color when the power turns on, so you could make it really dim, but the bulb won't stay off. Up until now, Wyze only had a warm and cool white bulb, which seemed accurate and has the power on state. However, they just announced an RGB bulb that looks promising, but both bulbs lack compatibility. Even though they have their own Wyze sensors, they don't work with platforms like SmartThings. Tekken is an inexpensive bulb that works with Smart Life. I've been able to add it to SmartThings and Home Assistant, which is great, but the bulb is not white accurate or very bright with RGB, especially when you compare it with Whiz. So wrapping up the inexpensive bulb section, you can see why I would rank Whiz at the top. But they are all great bulbs, and you may choose another based on compatibility with your setup. The next section is smart bulbs that need a hub to connect to the internet. The one that ranked the highest was Illumin from Innovelli, which uses Z-Wave. It's really good overall, but the power on state makes it stand out. This is the only bulb that I know of that connects directly with SmartThings using Z-Wave or Zigbee, and has the power on state. The white accuracy was good and the colors were brighter than the other bulbs in this section. However, a Z-Wave bulb might not be for you if you have something like the new Echo 4th Gen that uses Zigbee, so let's look at the others. Spangled is a popular Zigbee bulb that's very similar to a lumen, but it's missing the power on state. The colors are also slightly dimmer as you can see it compared to Innovelli's Lumen. However, if you need an inexpensive RGB Zigbee bulb, Spangled has worked well for me. EcoSmart's Zigbee bulb is next, and many of you suggested I take a look at it. You can get them at Home Depot as a pack of 2 for $10. That's only $5 a bulb. I'm actually moving the value meter off the chart because the price is that good. It does not have RGB colors, but you can change the warm and cool whites. It has a CRI score of 90, and the white color might be one of the best out of all the bulbs I tested. They work with SmartThings or the new Echo 4th Gen. I tried it out on both and it worked great. If you want inexpensive Zigbee bulbs and you don't care about RGB colors, I highly recommend these. Nanoleaf is also in this section because it uses Thread to connect to the HomePod Mini as a border router. It's only $20 and it's a good HomeKit compatible option. Amazing whites that are bright and accurate. The RGB colors, on the other hand, are complete garbage. They're the least bright compared to all the other bulbs in this video. But if you use HomeKit and you don't care about RGB, then it's not that bad. I'm including one more bulb from Spangled because it's the brightest smart bulb I've ever tested. It's missing a lot of the features though. It doesn't have RGB or warm and cool whites, but if you want an extremely bright Zigbee bulb, it's worth a look. Almost all the bulbs in this section are similar because they are highly reliable compared to Wi-Fi bulbs and have a lot of accessory options being connected to a hub. Lumen has the edge with the power on state, and I wish more lights had this feature. The next section has been known to make your wallet or your significant other cry. It's the high-end bulbs. I like each of these for a different reason, and you might choose one over the other depending on what you want. They also cost more than the other bulbs, mainly because of compatibility and special features. And if you don't need that, consider the less expensive options. After comparing all the 10 factors, Philips Hue came out with the highest score. This surprised me because almost 2 years ago, I did not think Hue was the best overall. Since then, I've used a lot of smart bulbs, and I've realized that there's other factors than just brightness. That's why I had to wear this shirt. If I'm gonna say good things about Philips Hue, then I gotta wear Paul Hibbert's merch. Okay, so Philips Hue isn't perfect, but here's why I think they have the overall best smart light bulb. They're highly compatible since they work with almost every smart home platform out there. They even have a really good API for third-party integration. Hue bulbs also are extremely reliable. Not only do they use Zigbee, but they have their own bridge so they can have more control in making their lights work well. Hue also has so many accessories like motion sensors, light switches, and a huge range of lights for different areas of your house. Plus, the lights can sync with your TV or computer monitor using their Hue Sync. They also have a power on state. Where you will find the Philips Hue weaknesses is where you will find the LifeX light's strengths. Wow, that kind of sounds like something you would find on a fortune cookie. LifeX lights are brighter. In fact, the colors are the most bright and saturated out of any of the lights I tested, so props to them. Hue lights are not as bright and the colors are just average. However, LifeX is missing some of the key factors like reliability, accessories, and power on state, all of which Hue has. So if you don't care about those things, LifeX might be a great option for you, especially if you want a Wi-Fi bulb that doesn't need a bridge or a hub. One thing to watch out for is the white colors on LifeX and Hue. They look good, but I've shown less expensive bulbs that look better with a higher CRI score. You can hit the pure daylight white on these, but it's slightly more difficult to select in the app. Another high-end light is from Novastella. This Wi-Fi bulb is brighter than LifeX or Hue, with decent white accuracy. It's missing the extra bells and whistles, and the colors are not as good as LifeX. But it works with Smart Life, and I was able to add it to Home Assistant but not SmartThings. Yeelight is also a great light bulb that is highly compatible and it has a power on state. It's not that expensive and has really good RGB colors. It's right there with LifeX and actually brighter with the color green. But the white colors are not that great on Yeelight. It's always slightly off-white, which may not bother you, but it is something I care about. There's also a 100-watt equivalent Whiz bulb that's priced well. It's an A21 size, so it's similar to the Cree bulb I showed earlier. It was right there as one of the brightest bulbs I tested, and the colors were also very bright. The whites are good, and it has a CRI score of 90. It works with SmartThings and has a power on state, so it could be a really good option for some of you. It's just missing some of the special features and reliability of Hue. Looking at the chart, Philips Hue isn't the best value or brightness, but it excels everywhere else. If you want to add different Zigbee bulbs to the Hue bridge, you can, but if they are not Hue, they might not work with a Hue sync or the power on state, so keep that in mind. When it comes to filament bulbs, there's only a couple I want to quickly show you. Yeelight and TP-Link Casa have some that look about the same and function the same as well. Either one is good. Philips Hue also has a filament bulb that I think looks better with a spiral design, but it does cost twice as much. This is a newer category for smart bulbs that we'll probably see continue to grow. I tested even more than what I mentioned, but I tried to only include the smart bulbs that I like the most. So if you didn't see a specific bulb, there's probably a reason I didn't include it. Like I said earlier, I put everything in an article linked below, and hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider sharing it or subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, we'll see you again next time.
Yeah, take it easy, man. It was good to see you too.
Alright, I'll catch you later. Oh, hey, wait, can you take a quick poll for me for my upcoming video?
Sure.
Alright, Paul. Philips Hue, great smart light or greatest smart light?
Wait there. Corporate greed!
Come on, Paul, you've done that 10 times already tonight.
No, none of the above.
Come on, there's only 2 options. Alright, I'll put you down for great since it's the lesser of the 2.
None of the above.
Alright, on February 19th,
Don't you dare tell people
Paul
that I like...
says,
Wait, read.
Philips Hue is great.
Don't...
Oh, you already said it, Paul. Oh, we're losing you. Paul, we're losing you. Paul. Oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up, Paul. Nope, you're breaking up, Paul. Sorry. Oh.